Okay, so this is my informative essay on the effects of medical marijuana. Medical marijuana has become increasingly more popular throughout the United States. Medical marijuana may save your life, but abusing it may cause more harm than good. More than half the United States and the District of Columbia have legalized medical marijuana in some form, and more are considering bills to do the same. Using marijuana can alter your senses, change your mood, and impair your memory and cause hallucinations. Medical marijuana is used to treat diseases or other conditions. The FDA has created many studies in order to outweigh the risks of using such a dangerous drug. There are many studies about the positive and negative effects medical marijuana can have on the human body. Is medical marijuana useful? This is a common question throughout the United States, but there have been many studies that show that 2 cannabinoids, which is a compound of any group that is closely related, are very useful for medical use. One of the cannabinoids is THC, which is proven to increase appetite, reduce nausea, and it may also decrease pain, inflammation, and muscle control problems. The other cannabinoid is CBD, which does not cause the high effect and can reduce pain, control epileptic seizures, and possibly treat mental illnesses. There's been many animal studies that have shown that the extracts of marijuana can help kill certain cancer cells and reduce others. There is evidence from a study with rodents that proves that extracts from a whole plant can slow the growth of cancer cells from a very common and serious type of brain tumor. Another study shows that extracts of THC and CBD can increase the cancer-killing effect when used with radiation. Although there is concern with using medical marijuana and the long-term effects it could have on one person, especially those with health and age vulnerabilities. The NIH, which is the National Institute of Health, funded a study that showed cannabis could increase your risk of developing non-medical prescription opioid disorder. Although there aren't enough studies to determine the benefits and risks of marijuana, the FDA hasn't approved marijuana as medicine. Although marijuana has already been made into botanicals, this has caused many challenges. Botanicals may contain hundreds of unknown active chemicals, and it can be difficult to develop a product with accurate and consistent doses of chemicals. There's also been animal studies that show cannabis withdrawals can cause anxiety, behavior, and stress. There's also evidence that cannabis and THC impair memory and disrupts working memory. There are many studies on the long-term effects that marijuana can have on someone. For example, a study from New Zealand conducted in part by researchers at Duke University showed that people who started smoking marijuana heavily in their teens and had an ongoing marijuana use disorder lost an average of 8 IQ points between the ages of 13 and 38. Another study with twins shown that those who used it showed a decline in knowledge between preteen and early adulthood. Unfortunately, there are health risks for those affected by secondhand smoke. The risks are very similar to the risks of secondhand tobacco smoke. A recent study on rats suggested that secondhand marijuana smoke can do as much damage to the heart and blood vessels as secondhand tobacco smoke. The toxins and tar found in marijuana smoke could affect children or those with asthma and vulnerable humans with other illnesses. But studies have shown only mild effects appear from the drug of a nearby smoker, but you can acquire extreme conditions from breathing in lots of smoke for hours in enclosed rooms. There are many effects on a person from medical marijuana, some positive and some negative on those who aren't using it. Is medical marijuana useful? It can eliminate a lot of symptoms for many terrible diseases. It is proven that marijuana with radiation could help reduce the amount of cancer cells found within humans. It has also found that there are concerns about the effects of people who use it. In most events, there are many downsides and complications with using this drug. You could gain other disorders or get high anxiety. There are many effects the medical marijuana has on the body, both good and bad impact.